Hi friends, it's me, Ali, your friendly neighborhood Chanel expert. So for today, we're talking about my top 5 Chanel spring essentials. It is the end of March, we are leaning into April. It is officially spring season, whether or not the weather agrees. And I have a handful of products that I have been reusing and I'm wearing today that I just think are essential, quintessential Chanel spring beauty products that you can use and reuse just to bring you through the whole season. And you don't need to have a whole kit, you just have to have these few items. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. The first item we're talking about, I have been subsiding off of the samples here. This is the Base de Mascara or the mascara base from Chanel. And this is a lash primer, lash treatment, lash booster. I have talked about this on my channel, and I know a lot of people have not tried a lash primer before, but some of you have tested this out in the comments and you can feel free to testify. Now, this is a makeup product slash treatment. So at night, you can use this. As you can see, it's a white mascara. This is what the wand looks like. And you can apply this on your lashes before going to bed. It has vitamins in here. It has oils. So it's going to nourish and fortify and strengthen your lashes. But you can also go into this before you apply your mascara. Any mascara you want, you just apply it normally. And it does have a little bit of white to it, but it really disappears once you apply your mascara. It won't turn your lashes gray or anything. And I compare this to salt. You know, when you do not add salt to your food, something is missing. You can add a million other things, but adding just a little pinch of salt to your food brings it to life. And I find that adding a little bit of lash primer to your eyes just really boosts the lash density, the volume, the drama. I am not one who wears false lashes. I never found them very comfortable to wear, so I always stick to regular mascara. And just adding a little bit of this just adds salt. You know, it just adds a little bit of something extra. You can't really pinpoint what it is, but when it's not there, you can notice. Next up is a powder. Now, I am not always a powder girl. I have dry, dehydrated skin. I live in Montreal, so oftentimes the climate and my skin type just, you know, are not crying out for a face powder. But there is one from Chanel that I really, really love, and I'm wearing it today. This is the Universal Loose Powder, and they have a nice shade range. This is a natural finish loose powder. I use the shade 30, so it's a loose powder. You have your compact or your package here. You get your beautiful little puff. I do often use it to apply my powder to feel extremely extra. This is what it looks like here. It looks very average. You know, I'm certain you have seen a loose powder before. This is what it looks like. It looks run-of-the-mill, but it's quite exceptional. Even though I am not a powder girl, I love this with my dry, dehydrated skin type in the cold, harsh climate. I still wear this. It is a very natural, very finely milled, thin powder. It's very, very thin. It's absolutely beautiful. It has the lightest, softest, silkiest texture. It just feels so lovely on the skin. It feels like some sort of silk velour powder. It offers just a whisper of coverage. There is a tint, but you can also get a translucent one if you're not certain of the shade, but they do have a shade range. It just offers just a thin little veil of correction. I'm not wearing any foundation. I'm wearing concealer and powder today. That's how lovely it is. But the finish is matte, but it's a velvet matte. You know, it's not dehydrating. It's not going to fall into wrinkles or textures. It doesn't pick up on dryness or, you know, little flakes of dry skin. It's just really beautiful. And it tends to be a product that just gives you that last little finish, that soft blur, the soft natural evening of your complexion. And it's just really nice because I have been enjoying a very natural makeup look recently for spring. If you've seen my videos recently, I have a couple of looks. I have like a bold purple or blue eyeshadow look, or a very neutral base with like a bold lip. And I find that a really good face powder that's just soft and silky and very, very fine. It looks invisible on the skin and it corrects just a little bit. It really goes a long way. And this way you don't have to wear foundation or very little. It just blurs and evens out and is just so lovely. Next up is a lipstick. So again, we're going into this natural complexion, very French, very Parisian, but with a bold lip, this infusion, this injection of color that's going to revive you and last you through the last little bit of winter drudgery and into spring. This infusion of color is going to also just lift your mood at home and also just lift your entire complexion. It really just transforms this entire look. If I wasn't wearing a bold lip, I wouldn't really look like I was wearing makeup, but this bold lip ties it together. And this is the new Rouge Allure Velvet. This is the shade 46 Magnetic. This is what it looks like in the tube. It's very classic. The Rouge Allure Velvet has the classic click component like this, and this is the shade. So this is a velvet formula, which means it's a classic bullet lipstick like you just saw in the tube, but it has a slightly more matte finish. But because it's a bullet and not a liquid lipstick, it's much more moisturizing and comfortable to wear. So you can see a little bit of creaminess, but it has a velvetiness to it. It's not glossy or greasy or anything like that. It's just really beautiful. They have a wide range. I have a few shades from this new release, but 46 Magnetic has been one of my favorites. It just gives you this injection of color and it really transforms your look. Sometimes I'm feeling very lazy and I don't want to do a full face. I can just do concealer, powder, blush, and lipsticks. And there we go. I look put together without actually putting that much effort into it, which is a goal of mine almost always. Now, pairing this lipstick with this look here is the blush that I'm wearing today, and this is the Fantaisie de Chanel. This is this beautiful blush here that came out with the Le Blanc collection. Now, fingers crossed that this is out or will be out in a matter of days or hours in the US as I'm speaking, because this came out in Canada a few weeks ago, and this is described as a pastel fuchsia blush, which is what I'm wearing today. And this is in the illuminating blush category from Chanel. And they have come out with many illuminating blushes in the past, and this is in the same category, the same quality of blush with a whisper of highlighter. It looks gorgeous. I have been wearing it non-stop, and the packaging and the logos are looking a bit worn, but you know what? I buy my makeup to wear it and to enjoy, and I find that these two pair together very nicely. I swear that on the back of my hand it almost looks lighter and more pearlescent, but on the cheek you can sort of see a bit more of a fuchsia infusion, and it's just really lovely. The highlighting or illuminating part of the blush isn't too much. I'm not wearing anything else on my cheek other than the face powder from before. There's no highlighter, it's just this illuminating blush here. So it's just the right dose, the right amount. And if you want to wear any shade of pink lip, maybe not something quite as bold, but if you do, I applaud you. I think that this blush pairs very nicely with any shade of pink, whether it's a gloss or a lipstick like this. I just think it's a great cheek product for spring, and also because it's multi-use, you can use it for like blush and highlighter. It kind of makes your kit a bit smaller, more precise, and it's kind of nice sometimes not to have to go around with a million products. You can sort of just bring your whole look down to a few essential items. All right, next up is a hair mist. Yes, it's not just a perfume, it's a perfume for your hair. And this is the Chanel Chance Hair Mist. Now, Chanel has hair mists or hair perfumes for many of their fragrances, but this one here is Chance. I have gone through quite a few of these in my time, and I think that the classic Chance, the yellow one, not the pink or the green or the orange, I think this one here often gets overlooked, which is understandable because the pinks and the greens are very popular, but this yellow one, just the classic Chance, is the definition of a clean, fresh signature scent. And the hair mist is that, but slightly softer. It has a little bit less patchouli. It has more pink pepper. I swear there are notes of watermelon in here. It is sweet, but not too sweet. It's not heavy. It's not like a thick caramel perfume. It's fresh. It's clean without leaning into any sort of like cleaning product. It just smells great. Anytime I spray this in my hair and I give someone a hug, they always tell me that I smell amazing, which is true because this smells phenomenal. And the hair mist is made specifically to be sprayed in your hair. That way you're not damaging the hair with any harsh alcohols. So if you want to rejouge your perfume midday, you can go ahead and spray a little bit of this on your hair. Or maybe you're going out and you haven't really put any perfume on. You can just go ahead and spritz a little bit of this. It's very small, it fits in your purse, you can travel with it. And because it's part of the Chance family, it's very floral, but it's not heavy. You know, it isn't a floral that smells like a bouquet of roses hitting you over the head. It's modern, it's feminine, it's light, it's fresh, it's very, very light. You know, it's not a heavy scent. And so I just think for spring, this is a very essential, quintessential item to use because I can't think of a perfume that smells like spring any more than Chanel Chance, and a hair mist just elevates the whole thing altogether and just makes it so extra. Now, last item here is actually number 6. Oops, Po Buddy's Nerfect. I really thought that I had 5, and then at the end I just sort of snuck this one in here, which may look like a basic. So this is the Chanel nail polish in Ballerina. This is 167 Ballerina. This is what it looks like here in the bottle, and you may think, wow, that looks incredibly basic and boring. It's basic, it is not boring. I love this nail color because, well, I'm wearing it today. And guess what? Right before filming, I threw this on my nails right when I was finishing my coffee. And guess what? I scuffed one of the fingers. You cannot tell which one it is. Do you know why? This color is just the right amount of shade. It's just perfectly light pastel pink. It doesn't exactly match my skin tone, which I like. I don't like a nail color that looks too much like my own hand and then it just looks like a really long finger with no nail. I need a little bit of pastel or pink or something different. So this is just enough color so that it looks like you have a manicure, which I do, but when this starts to chip after about a week and a half, you won't be able to tell. No one can tell. So I would say that this wears for a solid 7 or 8 days. It wears perfectly. After 8 or 9 days, it starts to chip, but there's no rush. I can extend it for 10 days if I want to because you cannot tell because it's so light. It just looks like a polish. You know, it looks very shiny. It looks like a very healthy, very classy, very sophisticated nail. And when it chips, no one can tell. You know, if you're wearing like a really dark red or a black, you need to change it right away because it looks really tacky. But this, you can just wear. And you can wear it longer than you need to or longer than you should, and it's really not that big of a deal. And because it is like a light ballerina slipper pink, I just think it's very feminine and just very perfect for spring. Although honestly, this is good for any season, any occasion, any person. I usually wear this for a manicure, but you could wear this as a pedicure if you wanted to. But I just think it's a really great staple and essential to have in your arsenal. And with this whole little kit here, you could do like a full look, full face perfume and nails for the entire spring season if you wanted to. All right, guys, this is my take on my Chanel essentials for spring. I think my manicure is completely dry now, thankfully. But yeah, like I said, you could use these 6 items here and just have a full face, full styled look for the next several weeks. And sometimes it's nice to just have like a little capsule that you can lean into. And if you want to add something else, you can, but this is like your base, your essentials. Just reuse this. And if you have extra time or energy, you can add something else. But this is my take on it. I would love to hear from you down in the comments. If you're not aware, I have an online beauty consulting service. It's a one-on-one Zoom chat with me where you get to ask me any and all beauty concerns that you have. So to make an appointment, click the link in the description box down below. And on that note, that's all I have for you guys for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.